Alright, so as you already know, Sonic Frontiers got a demo booth at Summer Game Fest, and critics have been playing that demo and giving their opinions of it, right? And now that we've gotten a decent amount of critic reviews, people are now trying to compile them and find out what the general verdict was of the game. As you know, we saw a bunch of positive reviews, some negative reviews, some mixed reviews. So we essentially are metacriticing the demo in some way to find out if this game is on the right track. On top of that, we have gotten another review which mentions momentum being in the game, and it seems like a very interesting thing the way they put it. I don't know if it's truly momentum, but it did pique my interest. So we're gonna get into all of this right now. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please make sure to subscribe. We are trying to hit 100,000 subscribers and hopefully 7,000 subscribers before Sonic Frontiers comes out. But before we get started, there's one thing I want to talk about. Someone put 06 Sonic in Frontiers and it looks fucking beautiful. I just wanted to say that it looks beautiful because again, 06's model was designed to be in a photorealistic environment, unlike the shitty Forces model. And yeah, this shit, it looks sick. Okay, it looks sick. Like alongside the Jason Griffith voice mod, the 06 model is the first thing I'm gonna slap into this game once it gets modded. Like the moment that mod is available, I'm putting that shit in, as long as they do it properly. Because I've been seeing 06 Sonic mods that just, they don't look right. You know, they don't have the textures right. Those of you who care about the model, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, man, we've got this tweet and it says here, the amount of people who are commenting on Sonic Frontiers articles, game is going to flop, it's going to be shit, whatever, just another L, baffles me. You guys do realize most people who played the demo had fun and enjoyed it, right? So we see this demo impressions roundup image, and we can see here 11 different critics who play the demo have given their thoughts, and this person has tallied it up with the amount of playtime they got and the outcome that was given to them, right? Now, one thing that all the critics pretty much agreed was that the tutorial was shit. So I guess 15 minutes of that was dedicated to the shit tutorial, but we can see here, out of 11 reviews, 7 of them got the green thumbs up, so I guess positive. 2 were given the thumbs down, so obviously negative, and 2 were given mixed, right? So 7 out of 11 are giving positive thoughts, or about 63% positive reviews. You might be thinking, okay, that's amazing, right? We're on the right track. Not to be negative Nancy, I'm just saying, like, that's not the greatest outcome. Like 7 people said it was good and 4 people said it wasn't good. I mean, is it better than Forces? Based on what Forces got on Metacritic? Sure. Like Forces had mainly mixed reviews and about equal positive and negative reviews if you want to go there. But if we look at something like Sonic Generations, it had to this day 0 negative reviews from critics and mainly positive reviews, but there was still a decent amount of mixed reviews for Generations, which most of the mixed reviews were based on people saying that the game was a bit too short, and this one ridiculous review saying that Generations is a weaker effort to colors. Oh, ridiculous. And then if we look at something like Sonic Mania Plus, which is like the highest rated Sonic game on Metacritic, it is just positive reviews. There's no mix, no negative, right? Which is what other franchises get on a more regular basis. Like obviously Super Mario Odyssey had no mixed or negative reviews, but again, we're not expecting Frontiers to be Super Mario Odyssey. We're not delusional, right? But at the end of the day, plenty of Sonic games are polarizing, right? Heroes is polarizing and it's still the greatest game ever created. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if you like the game, right? Like critics are just critics. But I'm just trying to say that this is not some kind of amazing track record here. Like even with the 7 positive ones, how positive, right? Because a lot of them were not really scored, right? They're impressions. It could be like positive things were said, but it wasn't like this is going to be the greatest game ever kind of thing. Like it could be like a 7 out of 10 on the positive ones, or even a 6.5, but said very optimistically. Like for example, PC Games N here played 45 minutes and gave a thumbs up review, and we look at their review and it says it's a spin on Elden Ring, which is not really negative, I guess, because Elden Ring is well received. And it says, even with a bit of jankiness, the small taste of Frontiers has left him interested in seeing more, which is a good thing, right? Interested in seeing more, but I'm also interested in seeing more, right? Me, premydaremy, so like, and I'm not the most positive for the game, so if I say, from what I've seen, I'm interested in seeing more, like, is that like a glowing review? Not necessarily, right? But at the end of the day, it could be worse. On top of that, the reviews are still coming in, so we don't actually have the full picture yet. More things are coming in. Like today's the 20th of June and we've gotten a few more reviews that weren't mentioned in this compilation tweet, like this one from GamesBeat, which dropped 3 days ago. This person liked the control while running, grinding and dashing through the world, but said the movement gets more awkward when you slow down, which I guess is typical of a boost game. He said that he fell through the ground and died off the beat in a boss. And he also got to speak to Izuka, and Izuka clarified something that I think it was clarified before, but I feel like I should mention it. Starfall Islands is the islands as a whole, right? It's not the name of the first island, it's just the whole world, right? So we don't actually know what the first island is actually called. So it'll be interesting to know what the first island is actually called, because we have no idea. I don't know if they're actually going to name each individual island. I feel like it would be a waste if they didn't, but yeah, Starfall Islands is not what we've seen. That's just one island in Starfall Islands. But now we gotta get into this review that came out just today from NME, and it says Sonic Frontiers preview, clumsy but filled with ideas, and then they put under it Sonic of the Colossus, obviously referencing Shadow of the Colossus. And I think this one gives a decent amount of information on the game, or at least more details on things we already know, as well as the momentum thing that I need to talk about. It says here it will be familiar to fans of Link's adventures in Breath of the Wild. You speed through a rain-swept misty island where you must open up areas of the map by interacting with ancient, neon-lit, techie obelisks. What? Obelisks? Four-sided narrative. Oh, okay, I get what they're talking about. I've seen it in the footage. Like its Nintendo inspiration, Sonic Frontiers is heavy on mystery and light on instruction and UI. To unlock new areas to view on the map, you have to acquire keys from different challenges to use on the obelisks, which function as Assassin's Creed towers of sorts. It's appeared from the opening area that you wouldn't necessarily have to conquer each of the area's activities to obtain all of the keys, meaning that the player will have a lot of options on how to proceed. Pretty much what Izuku and Kishimoto were saying, like, you don't have to do the puzzles, you don't have to do all the combat, you just gotta do some shit, right? While the map at a distance looks somewhat sparse, exploration reveals that the map is littered with collectibles and activities, including collecting little friendly creatures called Kocos, races where you have to get to a specific spot on the map in the allotted time using a variety of options, boosters, momentum from hills, a well-timed jump off of a spring. I also spotted some sort of rail system that a dragon-like creature was flying around, though I didn't have time to make it over there. There was also an easy puzzle requiring the rotation of a statue, and I saw there was some sort of tile puzzle happening on an adjacent player's screen. It would be novel if a Sonic Tower could be filled with interesting and challenging puzzles, but at a glance they looked rudimentary in the introduction area. Now there's more in this review, but I want to talk about this quickly because we knew that there were going to be races where you'd have to get from one point on the map to another in a certain amount of time, and I talked about how I felt about that. I said that if they were challenging, then it would be fun. If they were piss easy, then it doesn't really matter, right? Because you could just do the bare minimum and still make it to the end. But the fact that he said momentum from hills is pretty interesting. Is that some form of like boost off of a hill and jump? Is this confirming that there is some form of hill momentum, some kind of boost jumping or spin dash? I don't know. Obviously, maybe there's some crazy shortcut that you can take with the level design if you use momentum. That would be the ideal situation. But since we haven't seen that in any of the footage, I don't want to jump to that conclusion, even though that's what it sounds like here. And he also mentions a well-timed jump off of springs, which, how does that even work? A well-timed jump off of a spring? A spring is just something you hit and it takes you somewhere. Like, what's a well-timed jump off of a spring? It's not like a well-timed wall jump or hitting a QTE at the right moment so that you don't die. It's like you just hit the spring and it takes you where you need to go. I don't know. Maybe you're like flung into the air and you have to homing attack the spring before you mess up and fall. I don't know. But these races in the open world are definitely going to be something interesting. They might even be the best part of the open world, right? I mean, if the races are well executed, I guess. But then he goes on to say that, having said that, the physics and platforming felt like they needed some serious work. Sonic awkwardly flew 300 feet up in the air when we were attempted to speed up on the giant robots and ran right off the side. That was like the red circles that like you hit them and you fly off kind of thing. The camera didn't flow Sonic very fluidly when we were running up one of these wings. Furthermore, many of Sonic's attacks are reliant on his homing ability, which can feel finicky in terms of locking onto objects. When you're mid-jump and using the right analog stick to try and frame the next object to home to and continue a jumping sequence and the target doesn't lock on, Sonic just falls. This happened more frequently than I would have liked. I mean, it's just a home attack, it's not that hard, but yeah, who knows. During some of the jumping puzzles, it felt like Sonic's jump would end right below the edge of a platform. Grinding sequences also left a lot to be desired. We repeated a rail sequence a few times because instead of just jumping to another rail to avoid an oncoming obstacle, Sonic would fail to grip the rail and overshoot it, flying off into the abyss. The open world also at times looks generic, and I'm curious if all of these activities will be able to sustain a lengthier title. I can cautiously say that the game's forceful solemnity, in spite of the absurdly silly vibe of the IP as a whole, okay, feels more invigorating and sensible this time. Okay, we're not reading all that shit. I left the demo wanting to play more and see what the world and story have on offer. The concept and ambition are there. Time will tell if the mechanics receive enough polish to make this a must play in the franchise. So yeah, I mean, I probably class this as a mixed review, not a positive or a negative one, but yeah, the Frontiers demo is definitely getting some mixed reception, some positive, some negative, some mixed, maybe a few closer to glowing reviews, I guess, but ultimately all that matters is what you think, right? I mean, critics do help dictate the future of the franchise, as well as whoever Izuku's got in those focus tests, but ultimately if you don't like the game, then you don't like the game. What else can you say? I'm not saying I don't like the game. Again, people have this whole idea idea that it's like either the game is going to be a masterpiece or it's going to be fucking trash. I don't think either of those are the case. I think it will be alright. I'm a sucker for nice graphics, so it'll be beautiful to look at, especially when I slap on that 06 model and that Jason Griffith voice mod. But like, I'm not expecting it to beat the GOATs or anything like that. Like, you know, I'm sure it'll be alright, but is this my ideal Sonic game? No. If I was making an open world Sonic game, would I do it like this? No. But, and I hate to use this as a defense, at least it's better than Forces. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. We got more reviews coming for the demo of Sonic Frontiers. There's a little bit of a tease of momentum, but I don't know what to make of it. Are you more or less hyped for the game? And of course, a big shout out to all my channel members. If you want to become a channel member, you can click the join button next to the subscribe button. But yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. Make sure to check out the non-Sonic channel. The link will be in the description. But that's all I have to say right now. So, Premy out.